Well, hello, we're back again, and I've might be a smidge busy. So last time I did mention I had another whole makeup. Dogs are barking. Oh God, good timing. That was made with a couple more compartments, and I decided to build an aircraft carrier on top of that. So yeah, it's great hulking hull which I gave certain Glorious as its name. HMS Glorious because I might as well put the ship under His Majesty's service, I guess now technically. And yeah, so it's in sort of a almost complete state. It's functional as much as it needs to be. There's probably some, refinement if I was actually going to use it properly, not just a sort of. It's a daft creation. There's a couple of things that go need refinement, need a bit of finishing, a bit of polish here, but maybe a bit of rework depending on how you want to use it. But effectively, she sits at least a fair bit lower into the water. I've given the waves a bit of a rough treatment today, and she floats quite well. She's quite stable. I've put a couple of crafts inside, so a lot of times I've realised something like the more modern style of craft carriers have been very much tilty. You land something on them, and then they start rolling over because, burping, sorry, sore throat, neck my drink a bit to try and ease it off while I'm talking, and yeah. So yeah, she's quite stable, which was ideally saying I took more World War II era inspired basic runway feel sort of landing strip. Try and keep central gravity up well. And yeah, as you can see, I've retrofitted Lancaster into a naval model that I just need to add a clipped wing system to fold up the wings, and then she should fit on the lift. Lift at the back, by the way, which I'll show off in a minute. So, I believe, is this the version? Yeah, with glass. Okay, I managed to actually still barking. Did manage to actually fix the bridge. So, bridge, quite simple. The interior is it's moving. It's quite simple as well. So the staircase down. Here's that. You're on this. We head to the front. As it's not completely finished. You have two doors that lead you onto sort of a very minimal catwalk. There's doors to the outside, and then you're down in the deck. I think actually, never mind. There is no, that is it. There's ladders from that to that. How to get on the top deck is probably just by the lift. I think currently. Like I said there's a couple odds and sods that he's doing, but the insides, excluding these OT generators, healing up these lower compartments. But yes, there's actually lights in this, funny enough, at the bottom part, just not the hangar deck. But the original lowest level of a hydrant, just to try and lighten your load a bit, because it was a point in time where I was questioning if it would even float. So there's a couple dodgy bits of hydrogen. So if you hit the bottom, it will explode in a fun fashion, but they could probably be removed. It would probably still float. All right. Go back here because I managed to get some space. But yes, she's pretty much of how I left her in a base hull model, and then the rest of it I built on top. So we've got multiple compartments, some middle ones, a fair bit of heavy armor. There's no vertical heavy armor, so between up deck and down deck, there's no heavy armor. But through the horizontal walls, there is layers of heavy armor around, as you can see, with the dark grey blocks. So it is sectioned off, a bit better than the Battleship was. Battleship which is like light armor all the way through, and should serve a little bit better that way, in theory. Honestly, I think no armor's best armor. But anyway, that's pretty much the entire ship. I mean, there's nothing too spectacular. Like I said, there's let's go over here, a couple connectors, and down into this room, which then lead to where did I put the fucking cargo containers now? I don't remember. There's cargo containers. I have. Is it this way? Okay. Well, never mind. There's a staircase here. That's how you get down to the hangar work deck down to this lower deck, and then where did I put them? I remember building them. Oh, here they are. There's main storage. There's actually some actual storage on the ship, so reactors, power, storage, vents, doors, lights. It's a little bit more complete. Like I said, it's a little bit confusing of how I built it. So yeah. I'll put some planes in there. I'll be on to go. A couple which were borrowed off said field map again, just because they're more realistic to a sort of size you can do. I don't build small planes well. I mean, I have this. I have that. I have this. And then I have the Lancaster at the top here, so you know, I don't build small planes particularly well. And we are running a little bit sluggish sim speed wise, but we are smooth enough to move, and I think I'll get away with it. So yes, the Lancaster Naval Edition has blue and black paint. And I replaced the turrets with the autocannons, which were just statics, and I will admit it's lost some of the beauty, but I have gained... Oh god, my nose is doing now. What the fuck? Ah. There we go. I think I'm talking and inhaling at the right time, so that's a bit daft. My nose is a bit... not as free as I should be talking like that, but anyway. Oh, there we go. Better. Right, to keep it simple. These area hitbox for these lovely turrets. I need a welder or something, because, you know, that'd be useful. The next moving. Yeah. Right, the area effect of these turrets are massive. I don't actually see it as block. There we go. Insanely massive. I mean, it fits in a 3x3 cleanly. Why? Why? Anyway, yeah. So I've sort of done my best I can and unshaped a couple bits. To the top one was easy. Just cut, done. So she still should be a Lancaster. Reactors back here. Empty cargo space. If you crouch down here and wedge your head forward, you can sort of wiggle your way down to this deck area, which is quite neat. And then we can get inside. Tin of engines, trying to avoid the bloody sound glitch that's been happening a few times, and I think we overpowered the parking brake then, but and off the deck she goes. 7 on 9. 7. So like I said, this is potentially, it says 25 minutes, but I think that's because of reactor shenanigans. We have our long range scouting reconnaissance aircraft that is technically a bomber. Without that, it doesn't bomb, I think. Depending on what you could do with this, I could probably fit a couple bombs. There is a bomber version of this, with a single large bomb, which is comical, which we can drop later on the boat. But high altitude support aircraft is pretty much what this naval version of Lancaster does provide. And I'm thinking, to save time, because this is not the most manoeuvrable aircraft, it might need about 2 more gyros. But it basically, it feels like it should be a large scale bomber. It's like a miniature of a large scale, so it's a little bit funny in the fact it flies like it's bigger than it is. Right. I've done a duck's breakfast to that, but we have teleported back for the landing procedure. In before I forget the landing gear. That's still got its desert camo on the hinges, but I don't care. Because I borrowed the desert version. That's back on. So, this aircraft carrier, as I could tell, I haven't done any actually real manoeuvring landings yet. That's going to be my own testing to figure out of how well you can land while this thing is going at full tilt. Challenge, but landing as a stationary floating base is probably the best you're going to get out of it. So we've landed nice and smoothly. Do we brake better? Yeah, I think we do actually normally brake better without the handbrake. I don't think the handbrake works quite well with the subgrids. Which is interesting, but yes, we've landed. And we can then, technically, try and squeeze this onto a side portion at a funny angle. Use a bit of gyro, bit of gyro, bit of gyro, bit of gyro. Slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down. And slide her off the main deck, on the main landing area. Currently, this is the only thing that she's weak at, is the actual deck space is a little bit crap. Just a tad. For these larger wingspan vehicles, but she's here, and we've landed her. So that's Neva Lancaster, which is quite nice. Now it's time to actually bring some stuff off the deck. And, oh, I say off the deck, off the landing area. So the buttons should be sorted, so there should be no issue. It's a bit funny I've laid it out, but also if we didn't put any lights in here, like I said, this is mostly done. There's a couple oddities. Shall we do the oldest planes first? Because this one's quite old. As the fact it's literally got left, right, up and down thrusters. I don't think... Is it turned? I need to... Oh, God, I don't know how the wheels are set on this thing at all. Steering, propulsion, friction. Actually, does it fit on the list? I haven't actually seen it. I just went blueprints, plain. This will do. Does it actually fit? Nope. That does not fit at all. Alright. With a bit of stealthy wing trimming. Ooh. The laws of how to get this thing on the lift is... Well, depends. Do you want to turn it around up on the deck or underneath the deck? And that's pretty much up to you, because this is the only issue of this being in the back of the deck, is you're more or less stuck on, if you're doing a quick launch, so ideally all the planes will be driven forward into the base and reversed out of this deck area for most efficiency. But you can use this as a weird car park style turning shenanigans. Didn't sound happy then. Alright, let's get back a touch more. Handbrake, handbrake. There we go. Sometimes driving forward and backwards you can actually work better than the manual spacebar handbrake. Right, simple as, I think there's only one working button here which lowers lift 1 lower, which will raise our mechanical creation up a level. Avoiding doing any double piston shenanigans, a single piston is probably the most stable for a single lift, I found. A single simple lift, mind you. Now this button has 2s. I do believe the furthest one, I'm talking fancy now, is the lower, and the second one is the higher at the close end. So it's fairly thought out enough to not mess up completely, and this is where some comical reversing capability of people will come into question. And do you remember where the edge of the lift was? Because look how smooth this is. The one bit I'm proud of is how smooth this bit is, but I do believe it is one off. There we go, which is a bit comical. So basically you have a lift operator there and a lift operator here. but she's up on the deck in a minute. Boing, boing, boing. This is where I actually edited a video to make a bit more sense, but you know, we'll do it live. Because, you know, I said do it live, we don't want to take live. Right, and I believe this button panel, you will find it only has one button on it, which is yes. This reversing, so yeah. It's quite a simple system, so you need about probably 3 people? 3, 4? And you've pretty much got a working lift. The idea is it's a pass-off system. This is the other issue I found that might need working out. Is will planes survive this uphill at a steady speed? Because it's a little bit of aggressive climb. We put the brake on. We'll lower this down to save us later. Because this is ideally how it would work. A plane comes up, you lower this down to set position, next plane comes up, that comes up. It's a sort of a theorized efficiency scale I've got in my head. So now, the plane without any dampeners, so we don't actually try and use too many of the thrusters because this is weirdly designed. And this is where it becomes a bit concerning because there's a turret at the end of this runway. I'm going to go off at an angle. Because I believe I've royally cocked up the wheel setup. On this, yes. As you can see, it's royally cocked up. It's more of a glider, really, I think. Or like a drop glider. So, yes. A plane like this, even with the bad wheel setup, can take off quite easily. I will, even though it's got no air brakes, and I will try to avoid using the reverse thrusters as example, and I'm guesstimating, that's about right. Don't hit the turret, don't hit the ledge, don't hit the turret, don't hit the ledge. As you can see, I can't see a thing. This shows you how bad this aircraft design is, and we'll use the thrusters to reverse stop. But yes, one can see, even with some dodgy... Oh, crap. Even with said dodgy creation, she does quite well. Simple, effective, and there's a plane on the deck. So now we've seen a Lancaster, a more larger, heavy plane, we've seen some thrusters. Let's show off some other aircraft types. Do I just copy and paste on the deck, or do I do the list again? We'll take a blueprint of this one and do it up like this. Should be alright. We'll do the deck for the more impressive aircraft. This is another slight oldie. I think it's actually an oldie remake. But it's one of my earlier planes that I sort of modified a bit. I was lazy, didn't want to make landing gear, so I just took a plane that had working landing gear on it. As you can see, she's a bit odd. She's sort of a light fighter. I want to lock those actual gear down. So potentially, this is a weak-powered propeller aircraft. She'll fly fine. That just make me question myself of certain choices, because that's going to affect the flying. As one can see, meow. It will not struggle with any small propeller aircraft. Let's try a hard landing. Even though I've got no air brakes or anything slowing down. it has got a fair bit of length. So ideally, if you want to do a stupid maneuver like this, you should be able to slow down enough, and you have a fairly long runway. Because I lost about 20 meters per second, roughly, across its entire length freehand before. So that is one stratagem of landing on here with a simple aircraft. And yeah, oh crap. I'm thinking for time and how long I want the video to be. This is another plane of mine. It's probably an old-fashioned jet. Yes, it is. So we'll take this, and we have the GPN jet, which I think I showed off before, and show off this. So let's per se we were cheating a little bit, and let's say the deck was fucked. You couldn't fly off the deck, or the lift broke, and you could only get up to this high. The bloody aircraft carrier's moving. What could we get away with? Well, if the craft is simple enough, a fair bit. Due to its lovely height, it's probably quite realistic to take off aircraft anywhere. It's like 50 meters tall, I think. 50 meters, 50 feet. Depends. It's probably actually more like 50, not me. Good meters. It's a measurement of 50. That's all I remember. Said it was ideal for aircraft to take off of for that old-fashioned gravity drop. To let airflow over the wings and for the lift. So like I said, I'm not going to do handbrake here, so let's try 40. Do I feel confident in that? Not as much as I should. Oh god, we're dropping a fair bit. Ooh, that clipped that luckily. 40. Hands off controls. I'm just holding Alt currently. And air brake and wheels will slow us, make us roll. So far. Like I said, she's long enough where it isn't particularly an issue on certain requirements. Dunk. Right. I think I've got a couple more odd things to show off, but I might just leave the fighters that I didn't make over here. So we have got, for reference, these are quite compact fighters, and you can probably see I can probably fit 2 here, 3, 4 here, 5 even. These a bunch more. So yeah, you like I said, there's some smaller aircraft that will make fine examples of what we aim for. And this thing turns like a brick. Oh. So let's quickly go in the wheel settings. Apparently the wheels don't like turning, but I can gyroscope turn it. And we'll show off this plane, and then I'll probably show off maybe the bomber. I might show the passenger. I might show the. Okay, I've got a bomber and a passenger plane, and maybe I might be able to show off. I don't think the Falcon will take off on this. We could try it. Some of my larger planes, because they actually do fit on the deck. Landing on the deck, probably not as easy. Oh, crap! It fell over. That was why the strength was down by 50%, I think, because the old height. Because whoever designed this was a twit. And that twit is me, because why the hell is it doing this? It's top heavy, basically. And it's handled itself just fine. Fine. Right, Let's just ignore the fact that I've knocked it over slightly. So even with an aircraft that's practically on its side, you can fly and take off this aircraft carrier. Like I said, it's probably a bit too top heavy. Or it's top heavy when you roll it. So I think my thinking was I could push that, but I can't push the lower button. So that's the idea. So you can stand here and push this high button to send this up, but not press that to send that down. Oh, fuck me, it's complaining. It's complaining. Oh, there we go. We've leveled off. Ooh, was it reaching a height limit actually? Was that hitting the roof? That might explain that, but hey, it automatically writes. And oh god, I've got how long this thing is. Whew, the barking brake feels crap. Right, that should be enough. We'll then show off the fact that if you're standing here, and we'll raise this up, we'll fly off and show underneath. Technically, I suppose I could have this at the top and launch a craft from this lower hangar to this across the flat bit here if it was small enough to get past the piston. And vice versa. So we'll do a little bit of flying. We'll turn on the engines, close the air intakes, turn off the engines because I just realised that's what I need to do because this is the one where I broke the plane. It being a bit too aggressive with this angling, as you can see, we scooch the floor a little bit closer. Speed is your enemy. Ooh, we want no, we want that. Fold out the wings, even though it probably could squeeze on. It's just easier to have foldable wings. We lock the wings. We'll take off gently. We'll do a gentle takeoff. I think I'll quickly go to here. Delete some of the planes that I don't want. Go back to this. Bit longer, so gentle. We're not pushing it. We're just cruising. Full length of the runway. Potentially, we're going to do a formation flying. 40 meters per second, roughly 50. We're flying higher than the so gentle flying. We can safely avoid the end Gatling at the end there. Full throttle, and away we go. And straight up off the deck, we're golden. So, while I would be fun to land this, I think it'd be interesting to do some daft things with our lovely aircraft carrier. Helicopters aren't much of a challenge, really. You just have to land on it without batting yourself off it with the waves. Let's passenger plane. Takeoff and landing with this. Because you must remember this. How do I land and take off? Do I do the front land as well as a takeoff? But I probably might have to because this is very much longer at the front than it is the back. Because how wide is this? It could probably take off and land. Bit awkwardly though. As seen, we have quite a large wingspan, 6-engined aircraft. That no doors because it was pre-doors, and pre-offset seats. So this could be modernised a fair bit. I don't think I've shown this off in a long time. If I have actually shown it off at all, it's even got glass. It has got glass actually, and I think we're moving. We've got toilets you can't get into, but it's neat. It's small. And the cockpit's quite neat. Let's fly in cockpit view, shall we? This is your captain speaking. Brace for takeoff. run my hands together excitingly, because this is going to be quite close. I presume I'm off the ground, I've missed the Gatling. Altitude and climbing. The alt thing's there on my left screen. 8, 9. We can... Oh crap, don't do that. I want to press V. Get out of the seat. They're the landing gear. They fold up quite nicely, and then one massively in the centre. It's quite simple, quite boxy, but gets the job done. We've reached 100 meters. Let's level off. Let's get a bit of distance at least before we do anything too daft, because I want to land on the front again, because I don't think the back might be long enough for this, but... Do we do the back? Okay, let's do the back, I think. So, I think this is the one aircraft I could probably get away with flying the back, so we're going to fly with spectator camera. I'm speaking weirdly, because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Like this. Oh crap. Oh crap. Oh crap, I was closer than I realised. Landing gear down. Landing gear down. Let's try to land in first person. Like I said, the only thing is distance and time is a little bit off-putting. I can't see a thing. I can't see a thing. I can't see a thing. I think I'm falling out of the sky. I think I'm falling out of the sky. Power. Power. I was going to say I was going to land in first person, but need to make sure I actually hit the freaking deck with first person at least. I haven't flown this in ages, so there we go. We've landed. We've done it. Wheel braking is absolutely a pain, even if it actually exists. Slow down, slow down, slow down. Does that do it quicker, slower? I don't know. But if flown correctly, I could probably not hit the Gatling gun, which I've dodged. That was quite fun to try and fly as a boat. Yep, all hands abandon plane. All hands abandon plane. Rightio, as shown, landing a large aircraft is quite funny, so anything large takeoff might have to be landed on a on-land runway, or better brakes. So what's next? Do we get the Falcon? Falcon! The helicopter version would actually work. It's 11. Do we put cargo in it as well? Oh god. I just realised I can put cargo in the plane on an aircraft carrier. Has this been done before in SC? I don't think it has. This might be an SE first, ladies and gentlemen. A SE first and only on a game. Real life might have done it, but maybe not in SC. Oh god, my nerves are rising. It hasn't spawned in, has it? Like I said, currently you can't quite see it, but we're currently jumping up and down like a maniac. And asking a ship to hold a 54,000 ton block creation is yes. for safety, because I am absolutely not shitting myself. Here's some chocks, just in case it rolls at all, in the old Besieger. So, did I show off this version? I don't know if I have. It's in heightened roof. Of lights. So, what the fuck do I put on it, Rover? I won't put 3 vehicles in. Normally I could squeeze 3 in, but that's going to take too long. Does the heavy rover fit in here? Or is that too big? It's probably too big. Actually, it might be a funny squeeze. Should we do it? We'll do the funny squeeze. So we've got a rover on an aircraft carrier that'll be on a plane that's on an aircraft carrier. And this is a heavy rover, and it's using the new cockpit. I've actually made something with the new cockpit that I haven't actually touched since. So this rover is quite neat. So you may be asking, how am I planning to squeeze that through that? I've took a sip of my drink and immediately burping again. Fantastic, right? Like that, so. You asked how am I getting it on there? I am cheesing it on there. Like good old. Might not fit. It might not fit. Buggery. Okay, yeah, it's not gonna fit. So I can just cheat and get rid of the back trim, and then. Ooh, like, all together, game. And then get rid of this can just bring a slight issue. Someone might have got how strong the old girl suspension is not. Wheels. Let's try 8%. We're going to squeeze this on if I do. Let's go 6. Ooh. So technically, rebuilding the plane isn't the issue. It's technically. Okay. I've come to the conclusion that we're going to have to cheat a little bit. I was going to say, this top knob's not really important. I'm more concerned about the weight of the actual rover than the frame size of the. Actually, that nub is the most annoying thing we have on it. Wheels, I've messed with these wheel settings. As shown, if it's flat, it'll get on easily. It's when you have weird pointy roofs like I normally do that you start having a weird issue of height and such. What's hitting the roof? Nothing, I'm hitting the wall. Who the fuck takes me? What do you want? Oh, I see. Yes, that'll be useful to draft. That'd be useful. He's asked me like this morning, and I've got a response now. It is currently 3:30. Well, fuck the rovers. It's close enough. It's in the plane. Do I want to try and wiggle it so I'm not clipping the old wall? Okay, hitboxes are being hitboxes, and I probably want to shrink suspension a touch. Oh, see, traffic immediately responds. He says thank you. Alright, good. Now, let's fuck off to the bridge. Not the bridge, yeah, it's a bridge, okay, it's a pilot cockpit, there we go. Terminology. Crip. We need to remove the chocks, I forgot about the chocks. But as you can see, the wheels actually roll forward when you drove onto the ramp. And that's a hole in the runway. That's a hole in the runway. That's the chock gone. Let's quickly just patch it up with light armor. Good as new. I'm gonna roll this back a bit. Just a smidgen. Trust me, the next aircraft 10 times better than this. I ain't gonna land this on here, I don't think. I'm doing this as a test of how much of a heavy aircraft. So remember, that's the weight in the bottom right. It's got a heavy rover in the back of this with heavy armor. And it's technically a grid parked on another grid parked on a grid. That's got subgrids. In all sense, this thing shouldn't take off so easily. Oh, crap. The parking brake doesn't work. That's fine. Grids are complaining. We've got a grid on a grid. We've got up to 100 meters per second. That's quite quick. We've missed the Gatling gun. And we're airborne. I didn't expect that. I was fair sure we're going in the ocean. Right, so we've just landed my largest aircraft. Not landed. Took off my largest aircraft off the aircraft carrier. Landing it. Fuck that. But taking off this monstrosity. I remind you, that is loose. This is, well, I say it's loose, it's stuck to the floor on the roof. That is loose by a handbrake. This weighs a shit ton as an aircraft. It's huge, it's bulky. And I just took off with, like that. That was bloody perfect. Bloody absolutely perfect. Like I said, that could be an SE first. Has anyone ever done that in SE? I don't know who's on. I need to check that out. I might have done it first. And I'm going high pitch again, because you know my voice. Yeah. Alright, we'll stop trying to kill my voice. And do we try to... do we need to just open the back of that? Oh, I don't need it. Who needs to lock that? Let's grab this. A flying aircraft with a driving car in the back of it. What can go wrong? Come on. Fucking wiggle it. I remind you, the plane is flying. Not an autopilot. That's probably freed her up just enough. Oh god, we've hit something. Whee! We've just fallen out of the back of an aircraft. What did we hit? I don't know what we damaged. But... is that the door? What is... Did we hit the door out with us? I think we took the door out. That's what we hit. Yeah, we took the door with us. Because I didn't know what we damaged. It was the plane. There we go. Wasn't that cool? It's running on the boat. And the plane... I think we must have... Yeah, we broke the rotor head on the hinge. It'll let's just leave it. Well, okay, we'll check on that at the end of the episode. How about that? We've got one more plane for this video, and then I might record another one of actually sinking this plane. So let's get the Thunder Eagle bomber, because that sounds so bloody amazing. My naming schemes are unmatched. We'll grab this version because this has a working landing gear. Now this plane looks like it shouldn't work, but it works too well. And while the other one's the heaviest plane, this is probably the largest wingspan plane that I've made on small grid. There may be a large grid attempt that won't spawn in. I'm thinking about it, I think there's still some small planes in the underhanger. So mind you, I took off a massive plane off of, it's just like 5 grids connected. 5, 6, 7 if you count subgrids. 10 on the ship as well. What a lovely day in SC. So we have a bomber. If you didn't know, shit ton of jet engines. Landing gear system is tri-hinge. Bomb bay with batteries. Gatling gun. I think this is probably the most simple landing gear. So another lovely monstrosity that we'll take off of. Buttons. More buttons. Well, it's not as heavy as the other plane. It is a bit less lifty. The one's got absolutely huge wings and landing gear's misbehaving. There you go. Oh, I think I hit the Gatling gun. So that was a multi-grid landing gear off an aircraft carrier on the water, and was more or less fine, other than the visuals. Look at that. This used to originally I was going to have doors, and I was like, no, I can't do. I was trying to fix the bloody landing gear. I was like, no, not having doors. So yes, we have another takeoff. Successful takeoff. We're going to land this in the water because it's kind of boaty, isn't it? What happens when you land bomber in water? It will be splash. So as shown, technically, if you could somehow figure out in survival to get a large plane landing on the deck for takeoff, you have quite a mobile airfield. Right. As this sinks into the depths, we have the Falcon, which is currently still flying at a funny angle in the distance. We have the Heavy Rover, which is there, the ship, which is there, the fighter, which is there, the fighter, which is there, the passenger plane. We'll catch up with you. Where the fuck are you? Passenger. Oh, found you. You've gone into the ground? I was gonna say what the fuck was that? I was like, what's that shape of the distance? So yes, hope you guys enjoyed, and the next episode, we're actually our code writer for this, is me blowing up the ship. So yep, see you in the next one. Cheerio, goodbye.